Hey, everybody. You know what? I hope God has blessed all of you because He sure has blessed me. Now, I want to explain something to you folks. I'm not going to tell you to read the whole Bible. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm going to tell you to get the Bible and read just the last book in the Bible, Revelation. Just do that. It's a short read, folks. It's a short read. But I don't think you guys are reading it. If you are, and you're not seeing what's going on today, then all I can say is your eyes are being covered. Your ears are being covered. Maybe it's too late for you. I don't know. Me and my life and my relationship with the Lord and the the Most High, the one who created everything, the one that's been here forever. People, it's not just happening with me. It's not just happening with me. There are so many people that are claiming the same thing I'm claiming, that God is speaking to us. This isn't just a coincidence, because a lot of this information, same thing I'm being shown, at almost the same time, other people are making videos saying this is what Jesus is telling them. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But there's one thing I never understood. And I've been praying on it and asking Jesus for understanding for a while. And the thing of it is I know people have told you I've lived in 11 states in the United States. 11. I don't even know how many cities because I've lived in more than one city in each of those states. And some of those states I lived in many cities. I met a lot of people. A lot of people that I looked into their eyes and I knew these people were righteous people. And it scared me. Scared me to death. The thing that scared me about these people is I saw something in them that I did not have. Now I want to explain that. My daughter had her best friend was a guy I would have loved. I would have loved to have called him my son-in-law. Now there was a time, folks. My daughter was in one state. Me and my wife was in another state. and my son was in another country. We were spread out everywhere. I hated it. Now, at the time that we were spread out, my daughter moved in with her best friend, which it was a guy, which is this guy I'm talking about. And this guy, he was a godly guy. He still is today. My daughter and him started going to the same churches, and they've got involved with the same church. They're both singers. They were involved with the band and singing in church and stuff. And I loved it. I loved it. Now, this guy, he was raised by only his mother. He had very little bit of time with his father. And I hope they got stuff worked out today. I don't know. I think his father's dead. But when I first met this young man, his father had never been around while he was growing up. Once he was grown up, out of high school, I'm talking about, his father started coming back around. And then his father took out some loans in his son's name, burned him on a bunch of money. His son just worked hard and tried to pay it off the best he could and shit. Never had a father in his life. He was raised differently than I was. Let me talk a little bit about me, and then I'll go back to him. I was raised the only thing I can say is by a man that convinced me it took beatings and shit to make a man out of a boy. So by the time I was 20, I'd already put my father in the hospital and damn near killed him. I put one of his ribs through his lung, punctured his lung, which caused pneumonia, and he almost died from it. Now I'll go back to this young man, and he's still a family member today. Even though I would have loved to have had him as a son-in-law, he's not. But he is a good man. He's a righteous man. And he wanted to marry my daughter. And he stayed with her. They lived together for almost 10 years. And he thought he could win my daughter over. But he couldn't. And the reason being is he was raised differently than I was raised. He was raised by his mother. He is what I would have called soft. When he talked, the way he acted gay. I made jokes about it, but he's a man. He just don't act like me. Well, because of the way I was, My daughter was a tough, and still is. She's a strong woman, tough. She was raised by me. And that was the only problem with this guy, is that he was raised by his mother. And he had more of a feminine female persuasion about him than I did. Not than other guys, but than I did. And my daughter was looking, and it was the same thing. I was wrong by teaching my daughter that, and my parents were wrong by teaching me that. That it took a strong man, tough man, to be a man. Now, I was raised to be tough. Don't cry. If you broke your arm or cut it off, you don't cry. That's the way I was born. I was raised. Somebody broke your nose, and my nose been broken many times, folks. You don't cry. You will cry because your eyes will water. But you don't cry. You stand up and you let them break it again. That's what I was taught. You don't ever lay on the ground. If you're laying on the ground, they'll kick you. I'll take a fist punch over a kick anytime. And that was the way I was raised. Now, my daughter was raised by me. And let me put it to you like this. There ain't no man gonna manhandle my daughter. I guarantee you that. And that was one of the problems that she had with this guy that she lived with for 10 years. She always told me he wasn't man enough for her. And she was the one that would have to go kill the bug or go down and see if somebody's coming in the house or something, you know. He wasn't raised that way. Well, I was. And she knows how I was raised. Hell, I walk out in the front yard against 1,000 men with a baseball bat. I've done it, not 1,000, but I've walked out of my house with a baseball bat and guys had guns. And she's looking for that because that's what her mom got. And that kind of ruined this guy's chances. And I hate it because he was a good man. Now, I only tell this story because God has put us all here for different reasons, to learn different things, to be different people. I don't know if you know this, but there's different levels of hell, or heaven and hell. And these different levels of heaven, there are battles going on between good and evil. Make no mistake. Before man was even put on this earth, Satan, Lucifer, knew about it. And Lucifer wanted to enslave us to him, and they all just rule over us. Well, God was like, well, why would I even make them for that? People in the Bible, it tells you heavenly entities, not men that were on earth first. These are heavenly angels, entities. No God, no exist, no he created everything. And they still stood up against him. And they were thrown out of heaven. Well, this is the thing, folks. I've been asking for God and Jesus, show me why. Why me? Why me? Why are they working with me? The person I've been. And they've showed me. Just like the military. You got to have the cooks. You got to have the medical people. You got to have the leadership. And you got to have the warriors. Well, some of us are put here to be the cooks. Some of us are put here to learn how to be wouldn't be medical, but I would say spiritual healings. Some of us are put here to be the spiritual leadership. And some of us are put here to learn how to be the warriors, the hunters. It took them showing me why I've been chosen, why I'm being communicated with. I'm not going to be the caregiver. I'm not going to be the one holding your hand in the spiritual world. I'm not going to be the one guiding you. It's not my job. That's for those that are going to be the leaders in heaven. Me, I'm going to be a warrior. My mind state, my relationship with the Lord, with God, the Word of God, and the Holy Spirit. I'm going to be a warrior. And make no mistakes, folks. Just because I'm 5'7", David that took down Goliath was 5'7". My dad come out of the chosen reservoir battles in Korea was 5'7". He come out with 3 bronze stars and a silver star and never even got hit by a bullet or a piece of shrapnel. He was a mortar. I think it was 183rd or 188th Infantry Army. He was a mortar guy. Never got hit with anything. Hit the same beach 7 times. 15 minutes was their life expectancies. Never got hit with a bullet or a piece of shrapnel. He hit it 7 times. Some of them guys, first 14 or 15 guys up in the front, when they dropped that damn door down on them boats, they died instantly. My dad was never hit with a bullet or a piece of shrapnel. I believe he was a warrior as well. We all are given a path to walk, folks. And they're all different. You have knowledge, or you're gaining knowledge for what you have left to do. I'm gaining knowledge for what I have left to do. Not of this world, but in the spiritual world. This is what I'm being shown, folks. You can believe whatever you want. There's nothing I can do about that. But make no mistake, folks. I love y'all. And I pray that you guys are receiving your guidance as well from Jesus. That's all I care about. Anything on this earth, you guys can have it. All the gold, you can have it. You can have all the silver. You can have all the platinum. You can have all the dirt. Because I have no use for anything on this earth at this point. If you want my Jeep, come and get it. People, if this ain't happening with you, I'm sorry. I can tell you how to make it happen. I can tell you to find Jesus. But will you? Will you take the time? You're not going to be sitting in the same relationship point that I'm sitting at right now, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, sometime, or just forget it. Jesus sent me to tell you. I hope you see it. I'm trying to do what I can do. I owe it to Jesus. So do you. You guys have a good night. I pray for you all and I love you. Till the next video, I'll see you then.